Okay, let's reconvene. We're going to move on to item 2.8, our Economic and Workforce Development Proposed Expenditure Plan. Vice Chancellor Van Ton Quinlivan.
Very good. Good morning.
Good morning.
In assuming this position recently, I want you to know that I'm very aware that jobs and the...
Got to push the button. There you go.
Good morning. In assuming this position, I wanted you to know that I'm very aware that jobs and the economy is very high on the minds of the public and our voters, as I know it is on yours. And I'm looking forward to spending time tomorrow to have a more substantive discussion on this issue of how community colleges are contributing to jobs and the economy. Member Ramos, you had asked for more data and models on what's our value and how are we contributing to this equation. Is it possible to showcase some models and approaches that we're taking? And we're going to start tomorrow focused on the area of small business. How do we grow small businesses, and how do we grow our businesses' ability to export, because those all lead to employment. And I'm looking forward to those series, and although they're informational, they will be a forum for us to have conversation and for me to solicit your guidance in this area of jobs and the economy and our strategies to address that. Today, we're just going through a quick pro forma exercise on the budget. You had approved the budget that Dan Troy had presented that the agency is going to submit to the legislature back at the Butte College. And in that budget, you had approved the restoration of all the line items. And so we're going through just a pro forma exercise that says, that parallels the program budget being restored should the agency's budget restored. Now, the probability of that happening, I will leave to you to think about. But this is the Economic and Workforce Development Funding Stream. And this is, in my tenure here, my short tenure here, I have come to find that this funding stream has been very valuable in aligning community college resources to the needs of employers and industries. This is to make our community colleges more responsive to industry. As I shared with Member Malumed previously, recently we had received an inquiry from the White House Jobs Council through the Lieutenant Governor's office that came to Chancellor Scott. And it requested whether or not the state of California could have a workforce development strategy parallel to what New York State is putting together. And because of the structure that we had here in California, thanks to these funds, we were able to reach out through the base of employers, through a state healthcare council, along with the 5 regional healthcare advisory bodies, and we're able to turn around in a fairly quick time frame what were the next needs of this sector with regards to allied health and health. And as a result, we were able to come back to the Lieutenant Governor and the White House Jobs Council with the structure of a series of programming that we would do for California to address, that is custom to our needs rather than New York's need. And that was written up in the White House Jobs Council a white paper that was presented to President Obama last month. So that is the structure that we need to be responsive to industry, and there's some terrific work that is being done in this area, some of which we need to expand, you know, in the process of self-improvement, and then others that we need to modify as thanks to what we have learned from this area. So we will discuss more tomorrow as the beginning of a series of conversations, but today is just a pro forma exercise of asking approval for a budget to match the state submission, I mean the agency's submission to the state.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Vice President Perez, second by Member Baca. Member McDougall, did you have a question?
Yes, it would be helpful to understand the structure that exists for the process that you just outlined. In other words, that structure you called into operation to be able to develop the plan parallel to the New York plan, but unique for California. I know it refers to statewide network leadership, organizational development coordination, but could you give us a sense of what constitutes that structure?
Yes, and we're also working on fine-tuning that in the spirit of always continuously improving. The ability to identify and prioritize sectors and industry clusters is informed by, there's a labor market group research team that exists here, and through that and all through the conversations with our regional entities, there's a recommendation of what are the priority sectors and what are the priority industry clusters in which we invest. And as in the healthcare, what we have is we have a statewide initiative director who then serves as point of contact to navigate the resources of the community college system. And that person, the range of solutions that they bring to the table has to do with what is the need of the employer side.
Okay, I think that's helpful, but maybe not today, but maybe at a subsequent meeting, you could share with us, you know, if you will, the organizational structure that does exist. Because I'm impressed by the ability of the system to respond as well as we apparently responded to the request from the White House to come up with this plan. And I'm just looking for, if you will, the outline of the structure that exists in order to do that, because it seems like it's a wonderful asset, and it's nice to know it's there, but I'd like to just try to understand it a bit more. So maybe at a subsequent meeting, you could share with us the actual table of organization.
That'd be great. I would be glad to do that, and we want to, actually, we would love for all the structures to be as tight as the healthcare structure.
Okay. Any other board member comments? Okay, thank you very much, Vice Chancellor.
We have
Yeah.
we have a motion.
Motion by Vice President Perez and seconded by Member Baca. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Motion carries.